Welcome to Witch Way. I'm Elise and this is the real-world witch lore of La Befana Vien di Notte and its prequel. These films were also released as The Legend of the Christmas Witch. Released in 2018, The Legend of the Christmas Witch stars Paola Cortellesi as Paola, schoolteacher by day, witch by night, who on Epiphany Eve delivers sweets and toys to good children. Her students witness her being kidnapped, and during their rescue mission, they discover she is the Christmas Witch. So not only do they need to save her, but in doing so, they will also save Little Christmas. The prequel, The Legend of the Christmas Witch Origins, came out in 2021 and stars Zoe Massenti as young Paola, an orphan and thief, and Monica Bellucci as Dolores, a good witch who raises children whose parents have been burned at the stake for witchcraft. Dolores believes Paola to be the witch to fulfill the prophecy of La Befana and bring happiness to all children. But Befana's origins go back much further than this 18th century setting. La Befana is a figure from Italian folklore, and she is described as an old woman who wears a kerchief tied over her hair and holds a broom as she travels Epiphany Eve, delivering small presents to children who have hung up their stockings by the fireplace or window. Sweets if they are good, and maybe coal if they were not. And if you tried to catch a glimpse of La Befana, she would give you a thumping with that broom. But also with that broom, she was said to clean the houses that she visited, sweeping away the problems of the previous year. One legend states that she started her travels after 3 wise men dropped by her house on the way to visit the baby Jesus. She was invited by them to join, but she declined in favor of keeping her house clean. However, after they had left, she changed her mind, so she filled a sack with small treats for the baby and left the house, broom still in her hand. She was unable to find the newly born king, but she delivered the gifts to the children whose houses she visited in the hopes of finding him. There is a children's song about the Befana, inspiring the title of the film, which we also hear as an incantation in the prequel film. The song mentions she is dressed in the Roman style. This could be referring to the theory of her origins in ancient Rome. Some scholars link Befana to the goddess Strenia, the goddess of the new year, well-being, and the protector of children. She is also connected to the gift-giving traditions in the new year. Dolores definitely emanates this goddess, protecting children whose parents had been burned at the stake for the crime of witchcraft. And indeed, Italy has a dark history, like most European countries, when it comes to the witch trials, especially during the 15th and 16th century, where mass witch trials took place and those found guilty of witchcraft were burned at the stake, though not usually alive. Due to the destruction of records, the specific outcomes of many of these trials are unclear, though one town embraces its witchy history. Between 1587 and 1589, around 200 people were accused of witchcraft in Triora. And like Salem, they have embraced their witchy past to become a tourist attraction, so much so that some refer to it as the Italian Salem or the Salem of Europe. those who lost their lives in the witch trials had the title of witch or strega thrust upon them, and even La Befana is not actually considered a witch. This is just a nickname due to her resemblance of a stereotypical witch. Some have even started portraying her with a pointed hat, like in the films. But here, she is a straight-up witch. She is taught witchcraft by Dolores, who, as mentioned, is portrayed by Monica Bellucci, who has also had witchy roles before in The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Necrotronic, and, of course, The Brothers Grimm. As Dolores, she also has her spell book, which she references to make her magic powders, and I really loved this element of the film. One of the ingredients we see in her spell book is mandrake, a plant often associated with witches, said to be used in their potions or as an ingredient in their flying ointments, allowing them to take flight on their brooms. But Dolores can also fly in another fashion. She has the ability to turn into an owl. Owls are associated with witches or as bad omens in many cultures, but in Mexican folklore, there is the lechuza, a large owl-like creature. In some tales, this is the spirit of a witch transformed into an owl after her wrongful death, and others tell that witches themselves can transform into owls. Sometimes these giant owls retain their human faces, but Dolores just transforms into a standard owl. She realizes who Paola could really be when she sees the symbol on her necklace. This symbol was designed for the film, but it is clearly inspired by the 72 demon sigils of the Lesser Key of Solomon. But here, it means she is destined to become La Befana. The biggest celebration of La Befana today takes place in Albania in the days leading up to Epiphany, which takes place on the 6th of January. There are many people who can be seen dressed up as La Befana, and one in particular apparently takes a leap off of the bell tower on her broomstick. These films score for lore, history, and the craft. I definitely enjoyed the prequel the most, as it more closely follows the witchcraft aspect of the legend. If you are feeling in the Christmas spirit, you can also catch La Befana in the Santa Claus series, where she appears more frequently in season 2. What did you think of these films? Let me know in the comments below, as well as any other witchy films or legends for my upcoming witch lore reviews. Please remember to complete your witch way ritual in liking this video, sharing it around, and subscribing to my channel to stay notified of more witch lore reviews. And as always, thank you very much for watching here on Witch Way.